Hello, Melissa. Long time no see. You're already 26 years old already, right? It's already been 15 years since I last saw you, huh? Time really flies fast. Who is this? What? I don't remember sharing my contact information with anyone recently, so I don't even know who you are. Could you please introduce yourself first? Oh my! You don't recognize me! It's me, Santina! Huh? Your mother, Santina! Oh, so that's what you meant when you said it's already been 15 years. How did you get my contact information? I got it from a classmate of yours. It was really difficult finding someone that knew your contact information, you know. I went through so much trouble. So, once we meet again, I want you to repay me for my troubles. Huh? What do you mean, once we meet again? Are you actually being serious right now? I don't remember ever telling you that I wanted to meet you again. My, you watch your language, Melissa! But I'm going to let you in on a secret. I know that you and your husband built a new house that would fit 2 families, since you were planning on inviting me to live with you. Huh? Did you hit your head or something? Where did you hear that nonsense? You just got married recently and you're going to be moving into this new house of yours, right? To think that you didn't even tell your mother that you were getting married. What's your problem, Melissa? If you're thankful that I gave birth to you, then let me live with you in your new house. I know what you're up to, Melissa. You were planning on inviting me to live with you in your new house as soon as possible. But you didn't know where I was and how to contact me, so you were a bit worried, right? I was kind enough to come to you myself, so prepare a room for me, all right? Well, it seems like you haven't changed, Mother. You still only think about yourself, just like you always did. Why in the world do you think that we'd let you live with us? You're the last person I would want to live with, Mother. What? Why are you being so cold to me, Melissa? Don't tell me you're still mad about what happened 15 years ago, are you? I really did feel bad for you, but it's not like I just decided who I fall in love with. Seriously? Do you think that I'm going to believe that nonsense of yours? I might have believed it if you had ever showed me even a bit of motherly love, but no, you never did. Or maybe if you had came to see me even once after you left, but you never did that either. Didn't you once tell me that I was just an accident and that you only married Dad because you had no one else you could rely on to help support the baby? Yeah, no thanks. We don't want you here. Jesus, either you're delusional or seriously just that selfish if you really thought that I'd let you live with me after all these years. Oh my, I didn't know you grew up to become such a rude woman, Melissa. You sound just like your father, always making it seem like it's me who's the problem. Besides, your mother lives in the province and tends to the fields that has belonged to her family for generations, right? I heard that a few years ago her adopted child passed away, and so she also needs to stay there in her hometown because no one else will watch over his grave. Where in the world did you get this information? You see, one of my ex-boyfriends was a private detective. I did him a favor, if you know what I mean. And in return, I asked him to do a bit of investigation for me. Looks like that part of you hasn't changed as well, Santina. You're still as free with men as when you left me and Dad. Yeah, say whatever you want. I'm not going to force myself to be miserable because society says you can only have one partner. I never believed in that bullshit. Anyway, your mother-in-law can't leave her hometown, but yet you built a house large enough to house 3 generations of a family. That must mean that you were going to invite me to live with you, right? Besides, it's only natural that the parents live with their children. Now that you're married, you're probably a lot more financially stable now, meaning that you have a duty to let me live with you. Could you please stop making so many assumptions? All of what you just said is wrong. I don't even consider you as my own mother. Don't come to us no matter what. But I'm already at your front door. Mother-in-law, I'm sorry, but there is something urgent I have to tell you right now. Oh, hi, Melissa. What in the world happened to cause you to panic like this? I thought you and Luis were on your way home from your honeymoon. You said that you turned in your marriage papers at the city hall at your destination. Was there a problem? No, it's not that. There was nothing wrong with the marriage papers. Yes, just a few minutes ago, I got a text from my mother, Santina. Your mother, Santina? You mean the one who left you and your father 15 years ago and you haven't talked to ever since? Yes. Apparently, she hired a private detective and did some investigation on us. She knows that we built a house for 3 generations of a family and she intends to move in with us. She says she's already at the front door. What? Hold on, let me check. Jesus, there really is a woman at the front door. To think that something like this would happen on our first day as a married couple. We built that 3-generation house for you and your husband to live with us, not for her. I was sure that I would never see her again. I'm truly sorry for my mother's actions. Don't apologize for your mother's actions. It's not your fault that she's a selfish narcissist. All right. Why don't you first send me screenshots of these texts your mother sent you? I understand. Oh, and please tell your mother that she's welcome to live with you, but don't tell her my name. What? Mother-in-law, are you seriously going to let her live with us? She's going to cause us a whole load of trouble if we let her do that. It's all right. I don't actually intend on letting her live with us. I just have a plan. Just let me handle your mother. You guys don't worry about it and just come home safely. All right. Be careful as well, mother-in-law. Who knows what she might do to you? About you moving in with us. I talked with my family about your request, and they said that there was something they wanted me to tell you. Oh, what is it? Of course you can live with us, they said. What? Really? And here I was expecting that I would meet a little more resistance. So you admit that you thought you weren't going to be welcome here? All right, then I told you what they wanted me to say, so goodbye. Yeah, say whatever you want. It doesn't matter now that they're going to let me live here. Just let me in the house already, will you? To think that you would text me just to tell me I was welcome to live with you after all the terrible things you said to me. I guess children always come back to their mothers no matter how old they get. Hey, Santina. It's been 8 years since we had our reunion, right? We exchanged contact information then, and I kept it for some reason, but to think that it would become useful at a time like this. Huh? You don't recognize me? It's me, Caligera. What? Caligera? Long time no see, ma'am. Don't call me that. I'm not a fucking gang leader anymore. So, do you know why I'm texting you right now? Huh? How should I know? Would you like to tell me? It looks like you're at the front door of my house for some reason. I can see you from the window. Huh? But the house I'm in front of right now belongs to my daughter and her husband. You see, they said they were going to let me move in with them today. How do you know I'm at someone's front door? You don't understand. This house was made to fit 3 generations because me and my husband are going to be living here with our son and daughter. What? Hold on. Could it be that Melissa's mother-in-law is... Yes, it's me. What? Seriously? But I heard that Melissa's mother-in-law couldn't leave the province because she had to tend the fields that has belonged to her family for generations. and also had to watch over her adopted son's grave. Oh, you said something like that to Melissa as well, right? I had Melissa send me screenshots of the texts you sent her, you see? You've been misinformed, Santina. This ex-boyfriend / private detective of yours did a lousy job. What? He didn't do his job properly? And to think that I had done him a favor. Please, I don't want to hear any of that shit. Oh, and it's not me who's currently in our hometown tending the fields and watching over my son's grave. It's my former sister's. Oh, and just so you do understand, that's not my son's grave in the first place. Huh? Oh, wait, what do you mean your former sister? You see, I moved out to that countryside when I was younger when my mom got married to a man there. But they always treated me like an outsider, and I was never really comfortable with the region's customs. I was an outcast there, and so when my mom got divorced with this man, I returned to the city. After that, you know what happened. I went to that rotten high school of ours, and I became the leader of the school gang, which you were also a part of. Gah, don't remind me of that, but I don't understand. You said that you were an outcast back in the province, but you suddenly came to a high school in the city and became a gang leader? What was with the sudden change of character? I don't know. Maybe I just got sick of people looking down on me and wanted respect. Well, if I'm being honest, I'm ashamed of what I did as a teenager now that I've grown up. You see, after I graduated, I decided to disinvolve myself from the gang and get an honest job. I got married and had children, and now one of those children just got married. I'm going to be living with them in this new house of theirs, but I already told you that. This is completely different to what my ex-boyfriend told me. Yeah, but that just means he didn't do his job properly. Nice private detective you got there, hun. So what do you want to do? What? You want to live with us, don't you? That's what you told Melissa, right? I'm the one who had Melissa tell you that you were welcome to live with us. What? You're really just going to let me move in with you like this? Of course. Oh. And you're not going to move in with me, but with Melissa and her husband. It's their house, not mine. If you do move in, though, your room is going to be in me and my husband's side of the house. As a parent of the married couple, of course. You see, I'm the one who's going to pay for the loan that they needed to take to have this house built. Really? But I thought you said it was their house. It is. I just said I was going to pay for it. You see, I'm the one who suggested that me and my husband live with the two of them. So this is my way of paying them back for agreeing. You won't believe it, but I actually run my own business, so I earn enough money to easily pass the loan screening. If you want to live with your daughter, then surely you're going to have to accept the same conditions as I did, right? What do you mean by the same conditions? I mean that if you're going to live here, then you're going to have to pay for the loan with me. What? I mean, it's not like I don't have the money, but it's still really helpful if somebody just appears out of nowhere and pays for half of it, you know? That's impossible, I'm afraid. Impossible? What, did you intend on just living here for free? I don't have a job, you see. I couldn't help pay off your loan even if I wanted to. What? That's why I was planning on moving in with my daughter and her husband and have them provide for me instead. You're joking, right, Santina? Don't tell me that you were just trying to leech off your child, were you? As her mother, that is simply just too embarrassing, even for someone like you. Not only that, but you just appear out of nowhere for the first time in 15 years after abandoning her and her father? Surely you must have been joking, right, Santina? Actually, Yes, you were clearly joking. right? Yes, I was just joking. I knew you were just joking. Seriously, you're hilarious, Santina. I mean, what kind of degenerate would attempt to leech off her daughter that she abandoned after 15 years of ignoring her? All right, good conversation. Why are you still at our front door? Is there something else you wanted to tell me? But my daughter said that I was welcome. No, I said that. You're welcome if you're going to pay for the loan just like I am. But you said yourself that that was impossible, so I'm afraid you're not welcome anymore. Oh, and if you do something to my adorable daughter-in-law, just know that I won't forgive you for it. Do you understand? Yes, but, actually, goodbye. Okay then, bye, Santina. Nice seeing you again. Mother-in-law, we just arrived at the station. What happened to my mother? She already went home. What? I told her that I was the one who was going to pay for the home loan. I said that if she was going to be moving in, then it must mean that she was going to pay off the loan with me, and that I was so grateful for it. That's when she panicked and fled. You see, Santina's the kind of person that easily backs off when she sees that she's not going to benefit from a situation. I see. I think I know what you mean. But I'm impressed. Father-in-law said that my mother was your servant back in high school or something, but it looks like that was true. He told you that, but I told him to keep it a secret. I assure you, Melissa, I'm not proud of the person I was back in high school. I've put it all behind. Anyways, I think I know where she got the stuff about me tending fields in the province or protecting a grave or something. So I told her about that as well, and I assured her that it wasn't me. That's my former sister-in-law, by the way. Oh, and it won't do if you run into her on your way home, so take a taxi, all right? Okay, I understand. I doubt she's going to bother us again, seeing how scared she was, but tell me, just in case she does bother you, all right? I will. Thanks for your help. By the way, I bought these roll cakes you like from the department store. Oh, thanks. I also bought you something. Coffee beans grown in the place we went to, because I know you love coffee. Oh, thank you. Why don't the four of us sit down for a snack once you two get home? All right, mother-in-law. On my way home in the taxi, I saw someone that looked like my mother on her way to the station. She was wearing these really flashy clothes and was walking so fast that it was obvious she wanted to get away from our house as soon as possible. My mother-in-law told us about what happened when me and my husband got home and the four of us sat down for some cake and coffee. It seems like this isn't the first time my mother-in-law has saved the day. And her face went red when my father-in-law told us about other such episodes. Apparently, a few days later, my mother appeared at our old house where the three of us used to live. It seems like she thought that my father still lives there, and she spammed the doorbell shouting something about how she wanted to get back together. The woman who lives there now opened the door, thinking it must be some sort of lover of the person who previously lived there. She screamed as well, and there was a huge fight, my mom getting multiple slaps on the face. The police were called to the scene, and my mother was forced to pay all sorts of alimonies and reimbursements or other such bills. After that, some relatives of hers grabbed her by the neck and forced her to return to her hometown in the province. She now works from day to night every day, as she was now in debt after paying off all those bills she had to pay.
Excuse me, Angela, are you there?
Sure, what's up, Lydia? Everything okay?
I hear you're in the process of paying off some debts.
Huh? I'm what?
I was so disappointed, you wouldn't believe. Tut, 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 Angela. It's just a good thing we're neighbors, or I never would have heard you discussing it through the walls.
I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. Do you mean you eavesdrop on us?
I heard you and Scott talking about it in the middle of the night. I had a cup to the wall, so trust me, I heard everything. $1,000 a month in debt repayments? No end in sight? Just how much debt are you in?
Oh, you heard that. These walls are thinner than I thought. A cup to the wall, though? Have you ever heard of privacy? It's quite a lot of money, but I think if we can keep up with the repayments at the current pace, it might be paid off within 4 or 5 years.
My goodness, you're in that much debt?
Yes, that much. Between all this secret investing and gambling and a complete failure to keep up with the payments back when they were smaller, it seems like this was inevitable. We are married, so of course we're committed to getting through this by working together. I hate to say it, but we're not always able to meet halfway. You have no idea how hard it is to keep up with $1,000 debt repayments every month all on your own. This has really taken its toll on us.
My oh my, Angela, just what have you been doing? As your mother-in-law, I simply cannot overlook this.
Yeah, I totally get that. I wouldn't expect you to overlook it either, but with how Scott's situation is right now, there might not be anything you can do.
I can't believe my son's own wife would place such a crushing burden on him. My poor boy must be going through hell.
Huh? What do you mean?
Basically, what you're saying is that my Scotty's being forced to pay off your debts with his hard-earned money? And $1,000 a month at that! It's hardly pocket change, is it? By the time it's paid off in 4 or 5 years, he'll be, what, $45,000? $60,000 out of pocket? How could you do this to him?
No, wait. You've got this the wrong way round. I'm not the one who's in debt. Scott is.
Oh, this is rich. You're going to try and pin the blame on my Scott because I found out about your little secret? I had no idea you were so shameless. That reminds me, your attitude last night while you were discussing the debt was absolutely atrocious. I could practically feel you looking down your nose at him through the wall. I heard everything. You do know you have debts to pay off, don't you? You need to pay it back, Scott. You have no choice. How dare you speak to my son like that when he's the one paying off your debts? You vindictive, self-righteous liar! He doesn't need to hear any of that from you. I'll have him divorce you, I tell you. Divorce!
You have no intention of listening to me, do you?
I could listen to everything you have to say 1,000,000 times over, and it still wouldn't pay off a cent of the debt.
Fair point. You know what? I've changed my mind. You're right. I don't think there's any point in talking to you when you're in emotional ignoramus mode.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
If you'll forgive me, I'm at work and we're very busy. Let's discuss this properly at a later date.
Don't make me laugh. I have nothing to discuss with an abusive, debt-ridden liar. One thing's for sure, though. My poor son needs protecting from you. He'll be staying next door with me from now on. He'll end up curled up in a ball in the corner of some psych ward if he's around you even a moment longer.
All right, fine by me. I'm going. Bye.
Angela, we're getting a divorce.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about, Scott? Are you still half asleep?
I'm not half asleep. I've had my coffee and my head is clearer than it's ever been. My eyes have opened. It seems like my mom found out about the debt. I was worried at first, but looks like she's actually gonna be able to help me get rid of it. She's lowering me the mother of all lifeboats.
Lifeboat?
She told me if I divorce you, all the debt will disappear and I'll never have to worry about money or repayments ever again. She was really convincing.
Huh, is that so? I see.
She must have a real lace up her sleeve. This is why my mom's great. She was always looking out for me. She's super clever too, so I believe her.
I have a feeling she doesn't have an ace up her sleeve at all.
If I'd known she'd be such a powerful ally, I would have just told her from the get-go instead of keeping it a secret this whole time. So, yep, it's decided. I don't need you anymore. The way you talk down to me like I'm some naughty little kid seriously grinds my gears. And I'm done with it. I'm gonna be free. Yippee! We're getting a divorce.
Good grief, you're beyond saving. I'm at work right now, so we can discuss this properly later. Scott? When I got home from work, there were some divorce papers on the table. Would you mind telling me what the heck is going on?
I think I made it pretty clear. We're getting a divorce. I had to go through the hassle of ordering the papers, so you could hand them in yourself. I'm busy.
I take it that means you have no interest in talking this through and saving our marriage then?
What's the point? You'd only talk down to me like some little kid, just like you always do. I'm mad as hell and I won't take it anymore. Besides, I have my mom. She's the only ally I need in my life. She always has my back and she's super smart, not like you. She said you're a liar too, which only strengthened my resolve. Hurry up and get out, liar!
Wow. You know what? I think it is actually better this way. Let's face it, I didn't exactly enjoy shelling out $1,000 a month to pay off your debts. I'm finally gonna be able to spend my own money again.
Fantastic, superb, tremendous, magnificent. We both get what we want. Win-win.
Good evening, Angela. I heard you finally did the right thing and agreed to the divorce.
If that's what he really wants, I'm not gonna get on my knees and beg. If we can't talk and work through problems as a team, what's the point in being married anyway?
I see you're just as arrogant as ever. How dare you take such a haughty attitude with me and my son, despite being in so much debt you owe $1,000 a month in repayments. You've got some nerve to look down on your husband when he's the one paying it off for you. You wouldn't have anything to eat or a roof over your head if not for him. Get your things together and go.
What? He's paying off my debt, feeding me, and putting a roof over my head? What planet are you on? You are aware I work every single day, aren't you?
Of course I'm aware, you pompous little upstart. However, there's no way whatever paltry wage you bring in with that pitiable part-time job could possibly sustain a family. Even a monkey could understand that Scott, who works at a major company, is the one holding everything together. He probably makes more in a day than you do in a week.
Ugh. I knew it. You have no idea Scott hasn't been going to work for the last year, do you?
Get with the times already. He's probably working remotely. I'm fully aware of how working life has changed over recent years. I might be old, but that doesn't make me ignorant. I don't have to confirm every little thing with my son to know what he's doing.
Interesting. I see. Your ignorance is actually impressive. You two are really alike.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Anyway, I'll be moving out tomorrow. I'm in the process of getting my things together right now, so you'll probably hear some banging in the night. I hope it doesn't bother you too much.
That's fine. It'll sound like a relaxing lullaby when I remember it's the sound of the odious witch who catapulted my son into financial ruin, finally removing herself from his life. Hurry up and get gone!
Okay, Scott, I'm all done packing. This is it. I'm leaving.
Vroom vroom! The big fire truck go vroom! Huh? Who did that? Oh, Angela! Alright, whatever.
I handed in the divorce papers last night, so me and you are strangers now. We'll never see each other again after today. This month's debt repayment is due tomorrow. Make sure you don't forget, okay? Don't come crying to me if you're struggling to keep up, because I won't be helping you anymore.
You're annoying. I'm sleepy. Just go away. Let me sleep, damn it.
Fine. Have it your way. Goodbye forever, Scott. Lydia, I'm leaving now.
big creamy milkshakes, pizza dipped in chocolate, lard sandwiches, cola. Huh? What? Angela, I'm trying to sleep. Get lost. Message me later.
Whatever. Have a nice life. Goodbye.
Angela, pick up the phone! This is an emergency! I repeat, this is an emergency! We have to get married again immediately! I need you to keep helping me with the debt repayments!
Excuse me?
My mom got it wrong! Oh boy, did she get it wrong! She got it wrong, so I think my life might be over! I had no idea, but it seemed she was convinced the debt was yours. She had it in her head that I was the one shelling out $1,000 a month to cover your repayments. That's why she thought that if I divorced you, I wouldn't have to help you get out of the mountain of debt she thought you were in anymore, and I could finally attain financial freedom. That's why she told me to divorce you. Oh my God, I thought she had some kind of genius trick up her sleeve, but turns out she was just making a huge misunderstanding.
Yep. I knew that.
What?
I did my best to set her straight. I made it pretty clear that I wasn't in any debt, and that I was in fact the one helping you with your repayments, but it went in one ear and out the other. I did consider explaining to her how it seemed unfair for me to pay off your debts, given how you're the one who got yourself into this mess in the first place. But she was being so confrontational and aggressive, I didn't think there'd be any point. So the plan was to discuss it among the three of us once she calmed down. Then she told me you wanted a divorce, so I was like, meh, what's the point? Now I've completely washed my hands of you both, and wow, does it feel liberating. My financial burden disappeared overnight. I've had a giant Scott-shaped boulder lifted off my shoulders. Who would have thought that divorcee life could be so fun?
No way you didn't, did you? Did you hand in the divorce papers?
Yep, I handed them in the night you left them on the table. I did try and tell you, but I think you were dreaming about fire trucks or something. We're officially strangers now.
This is bad, 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 really bad!
Angela! I'm so sorry. I made a huge mistake. I'm sorry. Please come back immediately. I apologized. So you'll come back, won't you? Won't you?
What?
Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that Scott was the one in debt and not you? You had so many opportunities. And I had no idea it was my uncle who was originally covering the repayments.
That's because Scott chose not to tell you. I may have been your daughter-in-law, but it wasn't my place to tell you that kind of thing. That was your son's responsibility. I did at least make it very clear that the debt is Scott's and not mine. You're the one who kept interrupting and ignoring me whenever I tried to make you see sense, and you're the one who demanded we get a divorce based on your ridiculous misunderstanding. You're in no position to criticize me.
There's something else I can't get my head around. How on earth were you managing to keep up with $1,000 a month debt repayments working that crummy part-time job of yours in the first place? That's why I got the wrong end of the stick. You misled me.
I don't work part-time, and I never once told you I did.
Huh?
I inherited my dad's restaurant chain when he passed away a few years ago, and I've been managing all 10 of his restaurants ever since.
You own a company? You?
Yes, me. I own a company.
I thought you worked part-time flipping burgers at McDonald's.
That's fascinating because I don't. You're so good at misinterpreting reality, it's worrying.
So that's how you were able to keep up with those enormous debt repayments.
By the way, how to break this to you. You might want to sit down for this one, Lydia. Are you ready? Scott's unemployed.
What?
He got into a fight with his boss last year when he mistakenly arranged a meeting with a major client for the wrong day. He stormed out in a rage when he got taken to task on it. He had ample opportunity to apologize, but he was so stubborn he chose to get fired rather than admit fault. He's been unemployed ever since.
Did he at least get a severance payment?
He did, but it disappeared straight away when he used it towards paying off his debts. He'd only been at the company a few years, and it was his own fault he got fired, so it wasn't much. I couldn't bring myself to see him stop making payments because he'd have been swallowed up by the interest, so I decided to start covering them for him. It was only supposed to be temporary.
Really? I see. Okay, I understand everything now. I'm sorry for everything I've done, Angela. Will you carry on making the repayments for him?
Excuse me?
Listen, I just got a phone call from my uncle. He said today's payment is late. Apparently he got a threatening email from the repayment company. Please see to it that today's payment of $1,000 gets made as normal.
Are you aware that me and Scott aren't married anymore? You're both strangers to me now.
But...
The real irony here is that you're the one who got him to divorce me in the first place. It's time the pair of you learned how to stand on your own 2 feet for a change. I think this could be a great opportunity for you.
Angela, please, don't do this. I'm set to retire next year. These repayments would eat up my pension so fast I'd be homeless before I knew it. My husband passed away years ago. How in God's name am I supposed to support myself, my unemployed son, and run a household on top of these mammoth debt repayments all on my own?
Goodbye, Lydia.
Angela!
Since the repayments were set to suddenly stop, I thought I should call Lydia's uncle, who'd been the one covering them before me, and make him aware of the situation. He was astonished when he found out it was me who'd been making the repayments this whole time, and I was even more astonished when he apologized and paid me back the entire sum. After a few more apology messages, he swore to teach Scott the meaning of personal responsibility by having him pay off the debts he'd racked up if it was the last thing he did. Last I heard, he was forcing them both to work at his garbage disposal company to come up with the money. Apparently, a few of the senior employees are pretty mean-spirited and take great pleasure in seeing just how far they can push the two of them. They're being worked to exhaustion on a daily basis, which I was told about in detail when they spammed me with messages begging me to come back. Naturally, I blocked them both. Lydia's uncle ended up confiscating their phones because they were constantly playing games on them instead of working whenever no one was looking. I tried to be as sympathetic and compromising a wife as I could be. But their attitude towards me, which was revealed through a huge misunderstanding, quickly made me change my mind, and by the end, I was just as eager to divorce as my husband was, or thought he was. I'm so pleased I decided not to correct his delusional mom. Whatever happens to them, they're on their own from now on.